Because that doesn't help you here. If I put here, touch goes somewhere in there, how's it going to happen? I see a kid doing a responsible thing and I've got to somehow shake their hand. And I could, if I had to. Okay, anyone else got any other non-verbal? Something where you don't say anything but you do something or show something, yeah? Yeah, smile. It's so funny. I've watched teachers teach, I don't know if you've ever done this, and they can go through an entire, especially in secondary, entire 50-minute period and they don't smile. Because they're at level 1. They're quite tense and they're worried, and so they just don't smile. And especially teachers I'm trying to help who are in trouble already, in a sense, and we come in and I'm looking for, and they say to me, I'll try and smile. And I'll try and look friendly, and so we look for it and it doesn't happen, even after they're trying. So it's just fascinating to see how hard some of these logical things are for some people. What else? Yeah, 2 thumbs up type thing. Yep. Any others? Anyone got I don't know, smiley? I saw one in prep, a smiley face, a button face. She just holds up this smiley button face when she's happy with the way things are going. And I thought that was an interesting... And on the back, by the way, there was a sad face, which was a hint. So you could sort of just turn it around. Okay, any others? There's a challenge for you. Okay, there's a challenge for you, because if we are right that C's and D's are non-verbal, or not as verbal, they're not even going to hear everything you say. They will hear your tone, but they won't hear all the words. Can you communicate in some other form to them? That's the issue. That's all. If anyone comes up with any startling ideas, email me. You've got my email. I'm going to write up again, because we need a collecting house for these sort of things. And people, when I went back to teach for a year, I found it much too difficult to prepare everything as I was working. What I did the summer before carried into the year, but once you're in there and you're working a full load, you don't have time to think about this stuff at all. So unless someone can just sort of partial that time out, get an idea and make some sort of collection via me, I hope, I can then offer it to other people. Just ideas. Okay, so then you'll go on to verbals. And verbals are easy, I guess, because you're not saying good boy. You're usually saying things like thank you, that's helpful. In other words, you're commenting that it's a productive thing to have done. To keep your hands to yourself, or it's just respectful, it's nice. So it's not good boy, it's descriptive if you can do it. There's stuff on descriptive praise. What else do you offer people? Let me guess. I'm going to give 6 categories and tell me if you've got something outside. Non-verbal, verbal, communication to others. Does anyone phone home? Isn't it fun? They never know what to say to you. It's so interesting to do that. I love doing that. You say, especially a D or C kid, you phone home and say, Josh had a great day today. Yeah. Yeah, they're waiting. It's like, where's the other shoe, And then you say, no, he's really good today. He's very cooperative. Yeah, that's it, And so you can get through in about 2 minutes, and you've got an ally at home. It's phenomenal. So when you come to the negative side and you want a phone call home, it's going to carry weight. You've got a relationship with the parent, and the kid knows it. Sorry, you're going to say something? Yeah.
When they see the number of the school, and I've had parents refuse to pick up the phone when they see the number.
I totally understand it. They don't know what to do at home in many cases, and they're scared if you're going to tell them to do something, and they don't want to do. That's, by the way, a level 1 situation, The people are telling you to do something, and you don't know how to deal with it. You're beyond your resources. Yeah. So phoning home. One of the best ones I saw was it was a country school. And it was summer, and there was these big Neanderthals in this year 11, I think it was, or maybe year 10. They were all bigger than me. And they were coming up to this English teacher who was sitting at the front at her desk, and they would sort of lumber out, and she would write stuff on their work, and then she'd take an elephant stamp, and she stamped their work, and then she stamped their arm, like this. And I watched these Neanderthals walk back like this, They were 10 feet tall, It was so funny. And I'm sitting there trying to contain myself, but it was so important to them. because it's relationship, it's symbolic. It's she likes me, she helps me. And when you interview little kids, and I've got a video you might get to see if there's time, they say, she likes me, she helps me. That's the issue. And that's symbolic of that. So it doesn't... I did this once with a very difficult school of girls, actually, and the girls were giving teachers a hard time, especially this one teacher. So we decided on big gold stars. And it was really funny because we had these tough girls. And so this kid came out and got a gold star, this really tough kid, you know. And then she's walking back, she somehow managed to get it to go like that. I don't know how she did it, but it fell over and you could see the gold star. You know, and she somehow figured it out between the desk and the seat. And it was very clever. But it was important to her, even to her. So these are things you've got to think about. And don't assume, this was in year 9, so don't assume it doesn't work higher up the system. It works everywhere. I went, was it Werribee? Anyone ever worked at Werribee Secondary College? No, I don't know if that's the one, but I've been told by a research assistant of mine that a school, I think it was Werribee, has chart for teachers with stars on it. Yeah, and they like it. It's good, yeah, it's a nice place to be. Okay. Where are we up to? Let me think. Non-verbal, verbal, the other communication to others, I must tell you a story which is a cute one, was a principal of a private school, a little school, and he was basically a very depressed man because he was dealing with all the bad kids. All the bad kids were sent to this one principal and he had to deal with them, so it's sort of depressive. So when I got there and we talked about this stuff, we decided we'll go upbeat and we'll make all the teachers send one kid every 2 weeks to the principal, and we took their merit slip and we wiped out the DE and became a merit slip instead of a demerit slip, right? It was very, very simple. So you had to send a kid to the D with a merit slip saying what he'd done, and it had to be in the area of responsible behaviour. And they did this. Teachers started seeing these kids. So this principal was seeing really good kids, and we sent the others elsewhere by the reception to the back of a classroom, so that was okay. So he only dealt with the good kids. And he got really upbeat, and he had this room full of stuff which they'd found around the school and lost property and so on. So he started giving it away to these kids, you know? And I used to joke, it was you had kids wandering around the school with stolen property, and yet everybody was really, really happy. It was the funniest place to be, and yet 2 months after we stopped it stopped. Think about that. 2 months after, it was working. 2 months after this process had been put in place and I had left, it stopped. It wasn't natural. Now, that's the challenge for you, and there's a lot of work on this now. How do you embed? How do you make good ideas stick? They may be good ideas, but they're culturally foreign. They're going to get rejected. The body will reject them. How do you somehow work around that in the long term? Because it's not going to be so simple. We sit here and we think it's so, and I do this all the time, I think it's logical, you know, but that's because I'm a logical sort of person. But it's equally logical that this system will not accept it in the long term. There's a research project in there if anyone's interested.